Shalom Yashala. This your brother Masha the Menace, also known as the Menace Insurgent. And I want to welcome y'all to another edition. This is more like a special edition of BBS, Bayathan Broadcast Studios. And the reason why I say special is because this video is not necessarily dealing with strictly Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You understand? Of course, the title of the video is quite transparent. The thumbnail is quite transparent, and of course, the video that you're tuning into right now is quite transparent. Basically, this is actually a shout out to the brother Michael Jai White. Pardon me. Well, before I go any further, I want to give all praise to the Most High, the Father of Yahushua, pre and post incarnate human flesh. For those who are not familiar, the name Yahushua is the name of who the world calls Jesus Christ, and of course, the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I'm gonna touch on Abraham a little bit if the Most High agrees. I actually found out about this particular photo in this long speech that the brother Michael Jai White brought about in some cat's page named Beardy something. I forgot. I went to the guy's page, the brother Michael Jai White's page, to see if it was real, and of course it was real. These are his thoughts. There's something that he said back on Dish Network in I believe it was in fall 2014. Ricky Smiley, one of the hosts of the shows, asked him like one of those fill in the blank questions. And one of the questions was, Bruce Lee is no match for, and Michael Jai White said, me. And he got a lot of backlash from that. And whether people want to admit it or not, I know why he got a lot of backlash from that. He got a lot of backlash. It wasn't because he disrespected Bruce Lee, you understand, or didn't acknowledge Bruce Lee as an elite martial artist. It's the fact that the people who's familiar with Michael Jai White's work, especially if they've seen Blood and Bone, they know that this guy himself is an elite martial artist. You understand? And he's also a black man. You heard me? He's a black man saying that this Asian cat is no match for me if he were to knuckle up in a one-on-one matchup, in a one-on-one isolated matchup. And of course, he didn't get that much into detail about how he would beat him. He just said that size would matter. You understand? Now, I know that Michael Jai White is not dense like that. And we all know that size doesn't always matter. But size does matter. Size does play an advantage. You understand? I just don't think that he was in a position to be detailed on why he would beat Bruce Lee. Now, what you see before you is him paying his respects to Bruce Lee. And I might as well read right now and get this over with. Then I'm gonna express why I feel that Michael Jai White shouldn't have apologized. You understand, for saying what he felt, and why I'm gonna give you the best analysis that I can give to as to why I do believe he can beat Bruce Lee, both in their primes. But let me read this right here first. It says, this being the 44th anniversary of Bruce Lee's passing, let me address the Michael Jai White versus Bruce Lee thing. First of all, I never regretted saying something so much in my life. I'm sorry to have seemingly disrespected Bruce Lee, the greatest martial artist in the world, who's not only my hero, but the very reason martial arts still exists on this level today. I shouldn't have said it. How I talk to professional fighters should be different to how I talk to non-fighters on the radio. While there isn't a professional who disagree with the thought of a 100-pound difference between two pro fighters being a massive advantage, the regular public, influenced by years of movies and fight scenes depicting David over Goliath, would have a tough time digesting this. In the real world, even a 20-pound difference is a huge advantage to a larger fighter, especially if the skill levels are similar. To think of Floyd Mayweather, the most advanced boxer ever, beating Tyson would bring pro fighters to laughter, and I'm sure Tyson would agree. Even though in the history of boxing, no one has ever seen any record of a 125-pound fighter beating a 130-pound fighter in the ring, jiu-jitsu cases being the closest. I thought this was a case in common sense, but media is more powerful than he said I ever though, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to say I ever thought. Hell, I benefit from this perception myself, and although most haven't seen me really fight, I'm perceived as a real fighter because of movies. In reality, I've been fighting competitively well before I was an actor, sparred and trained with pro fighters all my life. And while there is no one in MMA or mixed martial arts I can't prove myself worthy to go rounds with even today, I still shouldn't have said what I said in mixed company. While I arrogantly, in my own opinion, wanted to point out an interesting fact about reality versus film, I did so with the intended perception that I was considering myself superior to Bruce Lee, which couldn't be further from the truth. I apologize from the bottom of my heart to all those who thought I meant to disrespect Bruce Lee. That was never my intention. I apologized to Lee in person earlier this year, and this is my personal apology to all of you. Michael Jai White. End of the quote. Now, for one, I respect the brother's humility. I respect his constraint. I respect the brother's constrictions. I respect the brother's restraint. I respect the brother's restrictions. Now, in the eyes of your average beholder, by him saying that he can beat a guy who's been deceased for damn near 45 years, it does come across as him looking like a coward. Because you're talking about a man who's been dead since 1973, July 20, 1973. So, of course, in July 20, 2018, it will be exactly 45 years since he perished. So, I understand why he would be perceived as making a coward maneuver by saying that. But here's why, in certain contexts, I disagree with that perception. You gotta understand something. When it comes to black people and talent and skill, and when it comes to these Jewish, Khazar, white devil, Edomite owned media, you have to understand, because they dominate the media, that means they can control the narrative. They can control the narrative that capitulates and circulates black talent. So when you think about martial arts, the first race that you think about is the freaking Asians. You understand? When you think about basketball, the first race of people that you think about when it comes to basketball is black people. the Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnson, the LeBron James, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Clyde Drexlers, the Kevin Johnsons, the Charles Barkleys, the Isaiah Riders, the Kobe Bryants, the Harold Miner, who was supposed to be Baby Jordan, the Hakeem Olajuwon, the Shaquille O'Neals of the world, the Artis Gilmores of the world, the Isaiah Thomas of the world. And I ain't just talking about the Detroit Pistons Isaiah Thomas. I'm talking about the former Celtic, now Cavaliers Isaiah Thomas. You think about all these black talents. We can think about football. You understand? It's kind of a mixture because, the quarterbacks definitely dominate the league and they all white. You understand? They're not all white, but the elite quarterbacks, with the exception of, I'm gonna say, Russell Wilson. You understand? And maybe hopefully Benjamin Watson once he get healthy next year. But the majority of them are white. But we all know that outside of the quarterback position, the blacks pretty much dominate every position that's available. We all agree that the greatest wide receiver in the world is a black man. Whether you believe it's freaking Jerry Rice, or whether you believe it's Randy Moss. You understand? Whether you believe it's those two, or somebody else. Somebody might even say Michael Irvin. Y'all all agree that the greatest wide receiver is going to come down to that black face. Same thing with the safety position. Whether you believe that Darren Sharper is the greatest safety of all time, you understand? Whether you believe that Ronnie Lott, which is a popular opinion, is the greatest safety of all time, or Ed Reed is the greatest safety of all time. When it all comes down to it, the conclusion of the matter is somebody is most, if not always, going to agree that the greatest safety of all time is going to come down to that black face. Even though the safety that holds the most that holds the record in the most interceptions happens to be a white guy, I believe, by the name of Paul Kruger. I believe with 83 of them. You understand? The greatest cornerback, whether you believe it's Deion Sanders, which everybody knows that he was not committed to tackling. Whether you believe it's Charles Woodson, Rod Woodson, you understand? Lionel Washington, Mel Blount, who's my favorite corner, or whether you believe it's Richard Sherman. You understand? Marshawn Lattimore could be in that conversation if he keep playing the way he's been playing for the next 10 to 15 years. You heard me? At the end of the day, it's going to come down to that black face. But when it comes to martial arts, I repeat, when it comes to martial arts, nobody wouldn't dare say either the greatest martial arts of all time, or one of the greatest martial arts of all time is going to come down to that black face. It's going to come down to an Asian and maybe a Caucasian. But at the end of the day, it's going to be PC like a motherfucker. You're going to get nothing but PC answers, political correct answers. Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee. You understand? And I, as a martial artist myself, am sick of the shit. You understand? The truth of the matter is, Asians didn't originate martial arts. Melanated black people did. You understand? And the greatest martial arts of all time is someone with a black face. The greatest sets of martial artists of all time happens to be a group of black people. That's a fact. So Michael Jai White, man, you have done. Look, if you want to maintain your apology, I respect that. I respect that to the T. You understand? You gotta be Michael Jai White. You gotta be comfortable being Michael Jai White. Just like I'm gonna be comfortable being Masha the Menace, aka the Menace and the Surgeon. You heard me? And I feel comfortable saying that you can beat Bruce Lee. You understand? I do feel comfortable saying that you can beat Bruce Lee. You heard me? Bruce Lee teaches that you have to be like water. You understand? When you pour a cup of water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You understand? It fully emulates the shape. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. If you put it in a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put it in a glass, it becomes the glass. You understand? You actually put that into perfection, man. You understand? I believe you have 8 or 9 black belts in different genres of martial arts. You prove yourself to be a student, you understand, of the art of war, because that's what the word martial means. The word martial means that which pertaining to war. You understand? You prove that. You prove to be that teapot. You prove to be that cup. You prove to be that bottle of water. What is that rigged ass fucking Aquafina? I seen a video that Brother Poppy, shout out to Brother Poppy, Brother Hassan Campbell, posted a video that in a, I believe it was a sub, I don't know if it was a sub 18-degree weather, but or was it just an 18-degree weather? You understand? Everything turned to ice except for Aquafina bottles, different Aquafina bottles. So that's not real water that y'all drinking. You understand? But anyway, if you put freaking water into an ocean spray, an empty bottle of ocean spray, freaking cran pomegranate, you understand? You became that, Mike. You understand? You succeeded. Bruce Lee talked it, but you walked it. I'm not saying Bruce Lee didn't walk it. You understand? But you really put it into motion. You really put that into motion, man. And I believe with your proficiency, amalgamated with your size, I believe that you will be a serious problem to Bruce Lee. Seriously. And let me give you another example how. That there's a guy who actually don't believe that you can beat Bruce Lee. Of course, he's Asian. His name is Freddie Chong, something like that. He brought out something that was interesting about things that he didn't like about Bruce Lee besides his hair and all that. He said that one of the things that he didn't like about Bruce Lee is that he was too skinny. And I think that that's a huge disadvantage. You understand? Because Bruce Lee don't have what you call in athletics body fat. You understand? Let me give an example. Sylvester Stallone said when he did Rocky 3, he said that was one of his worst, if not his worst experience ever, because he was down to just 2% body fat. And with 2% body fat, you are going to be prone to injury after injury after injury after injury after injury. You understand? Because you don't have sufficient body fat, you understand, to conserve your well-being. Michael John White, you don't have that problem, bro. You have, relatively speaking, a perfect athlete's body fat. So that will do you a lot of good, man. A lot of good. Bruce Lee didn't have that. His body fat was too low. Way too low. You understand me? So, once again, this is my perspective of the whole thing. If you don't like it, fuck it. Don't like it. You hear me? But this is my perspective of the whole thing. And yes, I am a Hebrew Israelite, in case you haven't noticed. I am what some would call a black Hebrew Israelite. I embrace that too, because Hebrew Israelites are all black. They were black then, black now, forever will be black. And I mentioned Abraham earlier when I gave all praise to the Most High. Abraham was a martial artist. The scripture says that Abraham had 318 servants. He trained 318 of his servants for war. If you're training somebody for war, obviously you have the knowledge, you have the awareness, you understand, of that which pertains to war, that which pertains to combat. You understand? That which pertains to battle against your adversaries. And of course, the main objective is to conquer your enemies, but how? You have to be strategic. You have to be strategic. You have to be strategic. You understand me? And there's too many black people that don't know the history of black martial artists. You understand? And that's sad. I want to give a shout out to General Hashar from the AOC Hebrew Israelite camp. He had did a video along with Priest Danya Allah. Shout out to him too. And also shout out to Kashab the Danite. All three of them did a event one night together called SOS, which means Synagogue of Satan, referring to these white Jews, these fake Jews who call themselves Israelites when they're really not. And he did this back in, I believe, mid-March of 2016. One of the things that Brother Ashar brought out was when the Hebrew Israelite was in captivity in ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, they was actually practicing a martial arts predicated style that deals with dancing, that deals with movement, that deals with rhythm, similar to modern day capoeira. I believe that's how you pronounce that. And of course, Michael Jai White should know a thing or two about that because he played in a movie where there was a lot of that going on called Falcon Rising. You understand? And it's called Demtok, not the Demok, like that blood sport shit. Nah, not the Demok, the Demtok or the Demtak. You understand? And you can clearly see that these were melanated people in ancient Egypt. Ashra Kwesi, he did a video a while back called the Kemet New Tour or some shit like that. And he brought about the African origins of martial arts, and he was practicing something called Mantu arts. You understand? So there's many evidence, man, that substantiates and proves that there are so-called African origins of martial arts. But yet, the media, which is owned by white Jews, is trying to control the narrative circulating the martial arts platform. They want us to believe that when it comes to martial arts, the people that set the standard of what true martial arts is freaking Asians. And that's a fucking lie. How come they don't want to tell you about what's that cat name? The black samurai, I believe the first black samurai, Yasuke. You understand? Who was the first black Japanese samurai. I believe they said they're not sure exactly what year he was born. They say he was born between 1555 or 1552 or something like that. Yeah, they're not exactly sure what year he was born, but it said that he perished in the year 1582. That's what it said. He perished in the year 1582. The first samurai was a black man. You heard me? It says he was probably born between 1555 and 1566. You heard me? But I'm gonna believe that he was probably born in 1555. You understand? And there's an ancient Japanese proverb that says something like, in order to be a true samurai, you must have a drop of black blood in you. You must have a drop of Negroid blood in you. How come it's not being taught by these Asians? You heard me? And what about the first shogun of Japan? You heard me? I don't know how you pronounce the brother name, but it's spelled Sakanoue. N-O, I think that's his middle name or something. His last name Tamurramaro. And you can check this out by many links and sources, but one particularly from AtlantaBlackStar.com. You heard me? Okay, I'm looking at it right now. It says, for a samurai to be brave, he must have a bit of black blood. Yeah, there it is. He must have a bit of black blood. That's quote and unquote. I've been knowing about this shit for years. You understand? So like I said, you ain't got to like what the fuck I say. Just tune out. You ain't got to tune in, just tune out. Or maybe what I'm saying is, is piquing your interest. Because it ain't like I'm just bringing anything up. I'm giving you sources. I'm giving you names. I might even put the link under the video. You understand? So once again, going back to the brother Michael Jai White. Once again, man, if you want to maintain your apology, I'm not going to criticize you for doing that. But once again, we got to understand something. When it comes to black martial artists, we have been swept under the rug for so long. And I think one of the reasons why that people take you as a joke now, not only because you're black, is because people just don't take you seriously because of the roles that you play. And I'll give you a gangster example. The brother Carl Anthony Payne, everybody knew him as Cole Brown from Martin. A good amount of people also knew him as Cockroach from the Cosby Show. This brother said, I believe he was on This Is 50 with Jack Thriller. And I believe he was on other sources too, saying that he was basically saying that being part of the historic Martin franchise was a blessing, but it was a curse too. It was a curse because after Martin, people looked at Carl Anthony Payne as synonymous with the character that he played, Cole Brown. So when he go in audition for a very, very serious role, people are like, hold up, man, but you Cole Brown, man. And that's the problem. They still think that Carl Anthony Payne II is Cole freaking Brown. That's just a character that he played. The dude is not Cole Brown. That's just a character that he played. You understand? And people got so used of the buffoonery and the coonery from Cole's character, making his silly bird sounds, auditioning for Biggie Smalls, and instead of rapping up to modern standard, he's actually auditioning to Biggie Smalls in the episode on Martin, singing freaking Sugar Hill Gang. I believe it was a 1977 track. And I believe he said that he went to audition for a more serious role for the movie Antoine Fisher. And the producer was like, hold up, man, you Cole Brown, man. I mean, you Cole Brown. But when Carl Anthony Payne was like, hey, look, just watch me work, people could not believe, man, how genuinely serious his acting was. You were like, damn, man, you proved me wrong, man. I saw a whole other side of you. I didn't see Cole Brown. And that's the problem. People see Michael Jai White, they practically see a Cole Brown. Now, not that Michael Jai White ever played Cole Brown, but they see the silly side, of the role that he played. When people see Michael Jai White, they see that former Atlanta Falcon wide receiver from that whack ass show, House of Pain, when he dropped the pass which prevented him from winning the Super Bowl or some shit like that. and he keep in a comedic manner asking Janine, "You on crack, baby? You on crack? You on crack?" Or he'll play movies like Why Did I Get Married Part 1 and Part 2, where he's docile and his woman is dominant. You heard me? Tyler Perry did this nigga disservice too. So finally, we see him at his best, in my opinion. Blood and bone. You understand? I had to find out about that movie from a former friend of mine. You understand? And of course, I saw the video on YouTube, but you got to ask yourself, why is movies like that is not getting enough theatrical airtime? It turns out that Falcon Rising was also in theaters too, but it only made 11 freaking thousand. It only grossed up to 11,000. You gotta be kidding me. No, not 1 million, not 11 million, 11,000 in the box office. You heard me? That's the problem. When people see Michael Jai White, he makes statements like saying, "I can beat Bruce Lee," they're saying, for one, you can't beat him because you're black. So because you're black, you don't qualify for beating Bruce Lee. So they already a bitch made a racist statement. You understand? But what pisses me off is that you got black people grilling this dude. You heard me? In defense of a damn Asian. You heard me? It's amazing. Look, it's bad enough that he's gonna get grilled by Asians and these fucking crackers. You heard me? But to be grilled by your own people, man. To be grilled by your own people. Michael John White, man, I stand with you, man. You can take back your statement all you want to, bro. But I'm gonna say with a straight face, you can beat Bruce Lee wrong. You can beat Bruce Lee. You understand? With all due respect to Bruce Lee, cause I learned a little something from Bruce Lee too. I learned about emotional content and all that shit. I learned about that when I was watching Enter the Dragon at 12. But I gotta keep it real with you, Ron. I can honestly say, man, and I can say very humbly, Bruce Lee is not the reason why I'm in the martial arts world. I give you two main people, and they both black. One of them is pitch black. The two guys that inspired me to get into the martial arts world is you and Chuck motherfucking Jeffries. The martial arts Eddie Murphy, as people will call him. Because the dude sounds like Eddie Murphy when he talk. And he looks like Eddie Murphy. he got a genuine Eddie Murphy swag. But once again, people are not going to take him seriously. Because when people see him, they see Axel Foley. You understand? They don't see how serious of a martial artist this guy is. And once again, when he plays in theatrical movies, what happens? He plays a damn bum, you understand, who gets taken down easily by a freaking talentless Forrest Whitaker as far as martial arts skills is concerned, because Forrest Whitaker is a super talented actor, but he's nowhere near on his brother's level in martial arts. And he was a homeless dude in the movie Ghost Dog or something like that. And even more insulting, he played a security guard in a movie Fallen with Denzel Washington. He gets knocked on his ass real easily by Denzel Washington. When in real life he can take out the 20 of Denzel Washington's easily. You understand? Billy Blanks a fool too. I like Billy Blanks. You know, I like him a lot. But once again, the white Jewish-owned media is controlling the fucking narrative of black talent concerning martial arts. And that's why platforms like the platform I have right now, BBS, is so important. You understand? So far, I have over 301 subscribers, man. I give all praise to the Most High, and I want to thank y'all for those subscribers, for those subscriptions. You understand? My goal for this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's make it happen. You heard me? Let's make it happen. I don't want to be too long, but there's one last thing I got to say, and I'm gonna call it quits. I believe it's in the book of First Chronicles, chapter 11, verse 20, I believe. Let me see. Let me check it out right quick. Show y'all something. I don't know if it's First Chronicles 11 or Second Chronicles 11, but I want to show y'all something right quick. Because King David was a martial artist too, and he was a black man. All right. King David was a martial artist, and he was a black man. King David was so gangster. King David had 3 top elite commandos. His trustworthy commandos. Yeah, that's right. It is First Chronicles chapter 11. Check this out. I'm gonna start at verse 19, and it said, "My God forbid me that I should do this thing. Shall I drink the blood of these men that have put their lives in jeopardy? For with the jeopardy of their lives they bought it. Therefore he will not drink it. These things, these 3 mightiest." My bad. These things did these 3 mightiest. Now check out what verse 20 says. "And Abishai, the brother of Joab, he was the chief of the 3. Chief of the 3 what? Chief of the 3 top soldiers, most trustworthy and selected soldiers of King David, top 3 commandos." And guess what he did? I'm about to quote. For lifting up his spear against 300 trained soldiers, he slew them and had a name among the 3. He lifted up his spear against 300 soldiers. You heard me? He lifted up his spear, which is a short-range attack weaponry, against 300 trained soldiers of his adversaries, and he slew them and had a name among the 3. Verse 21, of the 3, he was more honorable than the 2. He was more honorable than the 2, for he was their captain. Howbeit, he attained not to the first 3. You heard me? So, whether you believe it's a fairy tale or not, you're an idiot if you believe it's a fairy tale. You understand? Because, I mean, if you know anything about us Hebrew Israelites, I mean, we can write a book about how the prophecies, particularly in Deuteronomy 28 verses 15 to 68, is talking about the plight of the so-called Negroid male and female, and how that applies to us like a mug. All right? Now, whether y'all believe it's a fairy tale or not, this took place. Abishai, you understand, the one of the 3 chief commandos of King David, the most honorable of the 3 top soldiers. You understand? He took his spear and he used it against 300 trained soldiers. It's a short-range weapon. That's like that's like in modern times, he's using his spear or any short-range attack weapon and killing off 300 trained Navy SEALs, 300 trained Army men, 300 trained Navy men. You know what I'm saying? 300 trained freaking Marines. That's what that's like. This is a black man doing this. This is elite martial arts performance. This is elite martial arts execution. Ain't no freaking gook did this. Or no cracker. A nigga did this, yeah. You heard me? So Michael John White, man, if you watching, man, you understand? I'm not asking you to reconsider what you're doing, but I'm just letting you know I got your back. You understand? As far as this concerned, I believe you could have been more detailed, man, when you said that you can be Bruce Lee as opposed to just saying size matters, in which in some respects it does, especially if you're proficient enough. But I respect your mind. I couldn't be a brother to you if I didn't respect your mind. And like I said, I know I said keep it short, but it's over 41 minutes. So for that, man, click the like button. Please click the like button, or hell, click that dislike button. That means you saw the damn video. You heard me? That means you saw the freaking video. And subscribe to my channel. This is my first Hebrew Israelite channel, BBS by Yonathan Broadcast Studios. My second one is Celestial and Service Multimedia. And my third one is Empowering Preeminence Multimedia Productions. And for that, I want to say Shalom. Shalom. Peace.